We're back here in between games. It's our Roseburg Disposal pregame show for Game 2. You can let them make the run of the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Doc Stewart's getting ready for the nightcap against the Klamath Falls Falcons here as we are winding down the regular season and starting to wrap up our home schedule here. Joining us now is Jake Johnson from Roseburg High School, and like our first interview of the day, he's going to be an upcoming senior at Roseburg High School, joining Dane St. Clair, who we talked to before Game 1. Jake, first summer here with Doc Stewart's. How was it getting the news that they wanted you to be with the ball club all summer?
It was awesome. I've played with a bunch of guys, like when I've grown up, that were already on the team, and getting a chance to play with them again, could be my last season with a bunch of them, is pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. It's always a lot of fun to make those relationships, and unfortunately for some, it's not going to be ones that always you get a chance to play together for a long time with the age restrictions here. But, how do you feel like it's been going? This team definitely feels like it's kind of become more of a team here as the month of July has been rolling around.
Yeah, I feel like we've been through quite a bit of ups and downs. We've had our good runs, and we've had some pretty bad runs. Like, we haven't been playing great, but right now we're feeling it good at the end of the season, and we're rolling right now and hoping to keep rolling through the end of the league and play and get us a good spot and state tournament.
Yeah. How's the confidence level for the team? I mean, obviously the win-loss record here in July has been really good, and you guys have been able to beat some good teams and perform probably the way you expected. With the state tournament looming, how do you feel like this team is doing confidence-wise?
I think our confidence is pretty high right now. We're all playing pretty good baseball at what we do. We're playing well, and I think we're pretty high right now.
We've seen you out there quite a bit here this summer, especially out on the mound. How do you feel like the summer's been going for you, both pitching as well as defensively and hitting?
I feel like it's going how I planned. I feel like I'm putting up pretty good numbers on the mound right now, and I'm liking what I'm seeing and hoping to just continue to get better on the mound and at the plate.
Yeah. I'm sure you probably have some ideas of kind of like where you want to be by the end of this season on what you're able to do out there. Were there any goals you might have set for yourself on just kind of what you wanted to see from yourself here this summer?
Just wanted to minimize walks and get more strikeouts than walks, and give my defense a chance when I'm up on the mound, and
You feel like that? I mean, not just for yourself, but it seems like the pitching staff has been doing that a lot. We recently saw Colton Sywell. He was getting a lot of outs from the infield and being able to let the defense work behind him here in one of these last starts. You feel like the pitching staff has kind of started to be able to trust what the guys behind them are able to do and just rely on, not having to strike out everybody out there?
I think they are, yeah. When you realize that when you just throw strikes and give them a chance to hit it, our defense is pretty good and they'll make plays. So just command the zone and don't give them free passes, and we got a pretty good chance to win.
That being said, I think in your last two starts, 18 strikeouts, 17, 18, something like that. So obviously that strikeout pitch is still working out pretty good for you out there. Is that kind of how you see yourself, as kind of a strikeout guy? What kind of pitcher do you feel like you describe yourself as?
I would say during the spring I was more of just a get outs type of guy, but I mean this summer I've really been working on my changeup and developing that, and it's clearly getting a lot more strikeouts than I was during the spring with just like fastball, curveball. So I'm liking what I'm seeing out of the changeup.
We saw your older brother Cody at the games out in Redmond. You get advice from him in pitching? I mean, he was quite the pitcher himself back in his day.
Yeah, he wasn't too bad.
You guys talk baseball a lot when you get a chance? I mean, we know Cody, Caden, and you. I mean, this is I keep telling folks, there's a reason why your grandma apparently has my phone number, is because I've called enough games with Johnsons out there.
Yeah.
You guys talk a lot of baseball in the family, though?
Oh, yeah, talking a bunch of baseball. Caden's actually still living at the house doing firefighting stuff, so always get a chance to talk with him and stuff when he's around. And Dad's always giving me advice after every game and tips what I can do and to improve myself and get better.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's definitely been a lot of fun to watch each and every one of you come through, and definitely looking forward to seeing where things take Jake Johnson here with still another year of high school left to go. What are kind of some of the things you're looking forward to senior year of high school? I mean, you get to be the big dog on campus. You're going to be going into a senior year of baseball. You plan on doing anything else next year, or is it just focusing on baseball from here?
I think I'm just going to keep focusing on baseball, Got some in mind, want to win that league title and maybe make a little run in the playoffs to the state finals and have fun, live it up last year.
Definitely looking forward to that for sure. As we continue on here with this summer of baseball, I always like to try and kind of find out a little bit about guys off the field. What kind of things do you like to do when you're away from the game?
Away from the game, I like hunting and fishing. I like being in the outdoors. It's pretty fun, cool scenery and stuff, and I like being in the weight room.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, playing basketball every once in a while is not too bad, like it when we were in Idaho.
That was some good times out there. With senior year coming up, I know it's probably going to be, a big season for you there, but and I'm sure that college baseball is something you hope to be on the horizon for you.
Yep.
Have you had kind of any talks, any conversations, any look towards that future as of yet?
I've been emailing some coaches. Haven't got an answer yet, but just sent a couple emails out the other day and stuff, and I've been talking with Robbins too a little bit about a spot there and stuff. So yeah.
How nice is it to have a guy that is the head coach of a college program in the dugout?
It's really nice. He's always helping out and stuff and giving me tips and stuff what I can do and like getting me college ready and stuff.
Yeah. And, you got guys in there that have played at that level as well as coaches with Coach Savage and Bennett and Doolittle, those guys. A great wealth of experience down there for the Doc Stewarts. And, Jake, we hope that it all works out well for you here the rest of this summer and looking forward to seeing what senior year has in store for you. Appreciate the time, man.
Appreciate it, Joey. Thank you.
That is Jake Johnson joining us here in between games. And appreciate him spending that time with us there. Always fun to get a chance to catch up with him and get a chance to talk to these players. Obviously, it is always enjoyable to get to spend a little bit of time around them. He referenced playing basketball out there. Had a great time on that trip to Idaho, where the Doc Stewarts played a lot of games out there, and really was a coming together kind of stretch of the season for this Stewie's team, as they kind of were looking to put the pieces together to make this run here in July, and that's pretty much what has happened. The team has been able to get all the things kind of moving in the right direction, all the pieces going that way, and we'll see how things go for the Docs here in Game 2 against Klamath Falls. But the team has definitely been doing well, and I think referencing that trip there from Jake, a trip to Idaho, playing basketball late night on hot days out in Lewiston, the team was gracious enough to include me in that. And honestly, I think about what these guys allow me to do. In my mind, I feel like I'm closer to their age than I am, but get to hang out with them. It's really fun. And then I realize that they're letting someone that's probably their parents' age hang out with them out there and goof around with them on the basketball court, and have some fun, be around them, goof around with them, and have a good time. It's what makes this job so much fun. So thanks to Jake as well as to Dane St. Clair, the two guys we talked to here today. For your planning purposes, tomorrow we've got a single game against the Mid-Valley Southpaws, and we'll plan on talking with Tristan Ledbetter prior to the start of that game tomorrow. So stay tuned for that interview coming up before the game tomorrow against the Mid-Valley Southpaws, a non-league game here at Champion Car Wash Field, which will be our final home game of the season. Docs will play 2 games at Klamath Falls coming up on Monday down at Kiger Stadium, and that game, those 2 games will be the end of the regular season, and then from there it's off to the state tournament in Eugene for the Doc Stewarts. They're hoping that they will be playing on Saturday in the first round and not have to play Friday in the play-in round, but that is a possibility. We're keeping an eye on how things play out, and we may not know until Monday when everything's said and done. But we're hoping that maybe we might have a good indication as to where things are going to sit after today's doubleheaders for everybody in Area 4. We already had 2 games in the books. They don't affect anything for Roseburg. Grants Pass and Redmond split their doubleheader. Those 2 teams are battling it out for the final playoff spot out of Area 4. They would be a play-in round game. They would be the 3 seed out of Area 4, I think is how that works out. But they would be the final team in out of Area 4, and they would be the visiting team in a play-in round matchup. So whichever team, Redmond or Grants Pass, they will fill that role. Grants Pass will have to win 2 games at home against Redmond to get that. Redmond needs just 1 more win to secure that spot. Eugene, Roseburg, and Medford, they are all in the postseason. We've clinched our spots there. Eugene knew they were in no matter what happened during the regular season. They are the host team of the state tournament, so they knew they were going to get in, but right now they lead Area 4. Docks and Medford are right behind them. But Medford and Eugene playing in their final 4 games here, and Game 1 was a 6-0 win for Eugene. So the challengers, as we look at the Area 4 standings real quick, and then we'll take our final break here on the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Again, you can let them make the run of the dome for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Eugene with a win will go to 14-3 in league play. The Doc Stewarts with a win are now 12-5. Medford will go to 11-4, or 11-6 is what I should say. So Medford falls a half game behind Roseburg. Actually, a full game behind Roseburg. Redmond with their split today, they are 7-11. Grants Pass is 5-13. And then Klamath Falls with a loss in game 1 will go to 3-14 in league play. So the Doc Stewarts will stay 2 games behind Eugene. With the loss to Eugene, Medford falls 3 games back. Redmond is now 7, 8, 15. That is 7.5 games back for Redmond. Grants Pass is 9, 10, 19, 9.5 games back. And Klamath Falls is now 11 games back of Eugene. So, Docs, if you want to win the Area 4 title outright, you got to root for Medford to sweep the rest of the games against Eugene, and for the Doc Stewarts to win the rest of their games against Klamath Falls, and that would give the Doc Stewarts the Area 4 title outright. If Eugene wins, if Eugene sweeps Medford, then the Doc Stewarts are going to be your automatic qualifier, and they will finish second in league and get that AQ spot into the first round of the state tournament. So kind of got your pick your poison there. You can either root for Medford to win against Eugene and give the Docs a chance of trying to get the Area 4 title outright, or you could just root for Eugene to take care of business as the top team in the league currently and sweep Medford, and that would give the Doc Stewarts the Area 4, or the automatic qualifying spot out of Area 4, and make life easy. The Docs wouldn't have a chance at the title for the league, but they would know that they're in the first round of the state tournament without having to play in the play-in round. So it's definitely, it's an interesting scenario, but the Doc Stewarts are in the driver's seat, and they're in a very good spot here with 3 league games left to go as the Docs are looking to try and secure that berth in the first round of the state tournament and avoid the play-in round. We'll take a 2-minute timeout here on the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. We do have starting lineups, so we'll start getting those written down in our scorebooks and be able to bring those to you here in just a few moments. So don't go anywhere, folks. We will have your Cooper's Pest Control starting lineups for Game 2 of our doubleheader coming up. Doc Stewarts won Game 1 9-2, and now they are looking to try and pull off a sweep against Klamath Falls in Area 4 league play here tonight. We'll come back and take a look at those Cooper's Pest Control starting lineups here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Johnson Lumber Company, a forward-thinking family company, has been operating in the Douglas County community for over 60 years. Founded by Don R. Johnson, the man who set the tone of commitment to these local communities by providing stable, long-term employment. D.R. Johnson Lumber Company understands the significance of investing in our youth because they are the foundation of our future. That's why they're a proud supporter of Roseburg Doc Stewarts. Come watch the Docs swing some lumber with D.R. Johnson Lumber Company. Go Docs!
It's time to get your game on with Mountain Mike's Oven Roasted Chicken Wings. They're meaty, juicy, in 4 bold sauces ready to tempt your taste buds. And they're hand-sauced and tossed for every order. It's game on with Mountain Mike's Pizza Oven Roasted Chicken Wings. Get your wings today. Order online or on our app for carryout or delivery.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Well, we're just about to get game 2 of our doubleheader underway here as the sun starts making its way towards the horizon here in the Umpqua Basin. Sun starting to set back behind the Callahans, and that is casting some shadows across the diamond, getting a nice sunset here tonight. Has been a little bit smokier in the area here as we are getting into this weekend. I think some more fires popping up throughout much of Oregon, especially here in southern Oregon. And so it's been a little bit smokier in the region. Hopefully that starts holding off and doesn't cause any problems going forward. I know some new fires popping up in central Oregon. One up 97, thankfully a little further away from Klamath Falls than I thought it was going to be. But hopefully everybody's safe for one, and hopefully the smoke does not drift into the areas where we have to be. It's never fun to have to deal with. But we are making our way towards the evening, a comfortable night for some baseball, and we're going to be playing under the lights here soon enough here at Champion Car Wash Field. As we get ready for the nightcap, let's take a look at our Cooper's Pest Control starting lineups for Pete Whistler and the Klamath Falls Falcons. Max Price will lead things off, starting at second base, followed by Colin Tacchini, the starting pitcher. Mark Carpenter at third base will bat third. Marcus Uloa Ford, the shortstop, batting cleanup. At first base, batting fifth is Jacoby Tacchini. Hitting in the sixth spot is right fielder Corbin Hamilton. Catching and batting seventh is P.J. Safford. The 8 hitter is Carson Pimley, the left fielder. And rounding out the starting 9 will be the center fielder Carson Seams. And that is a look at your starting lineup, brought to you by Cooper's Pest Control, your locally owned bug assassins. Give them a call at 673-0363. We get ready for the first inning. On the mound for the Doc Stewarts is going to be Camden Hartzell. Hartzell, the right-hander out of Roseburg High School. I believe I heard that he is recently committed to go to UCC and get a chance to try and see if he can show off there for Coach Jeremiah Robbins. Camden Hartzell coming in, making his 7th start of the season. He's pitched 21 1/3 innings. He's got a 1-3 record, a 5.91 ERA, 27 strikeouts, 8 walks. He's had a couple of unlucky losses, and he's looking to try and turn that around here and get a win against Klamath Falls and get the Docs a sweep here at home. He'll face Max Price. First pitch, strike one. We are underway in the second game of today's doubleheader. 0-1 pitch is outside from Hartzell. Max Price went 0 for 4 in game 1 with 3 strikeouts against the lefty Drew Camp. Hartzell, a right-hander, gets a swing and a miss out of Price for strike 2. One-two delivery out of Hartzell, and his windup misses outside. 2-2 count. We'll take a look at the Doc Stewarts defensively here in game 2. 2-2 pitch, missing outside, and the count goes full. Back behind the plate for game 2 has been the tradition here as of late. Ty Hellenthal getting a chance to catch. And ball 4 issued outside. Max Price will draw a leadoff walk from Cam Hartzell. That'll bring up Takini, the starting pitcher here in game 2. Smells of hot dogs and hamburgers wafting into the booth here at Champion Car Wash Field. Big shout out to UCC, who runs the concession stand during the summer. They've been working hard all summer long, providing some great hamburgers and hot dogs. Pickoff throw to first, not there in time. Always smells really good. Got a chance to finally get a hamburger last week, or on Wednesday this last week. It was a tasty hamburger. Wish I could just enjoy it a little bit more instead of trying to scarf it down so quickly in between innings. Pitch inside. Takini starts off with a 1-0 count. Hartzell trying to get on track here after a leadoff walk. His 1-0 pitch hits the outside corner to even things up against Takini. Looking around the rest of the diamond. Cal Robbins out at first base. Logan Anderson at second. Left side of the diamond, Paxton Burke at third and Brooks Avery at short. A ball comebacker up the middle will get into center field. It'll be a base hit for Takini. Up to second base will go Price.
The next batter, number 2, Mark Carpenter.
Comebacker that buzzed right by Cam Hartzell. And early going here. Klamath Falls with runners at first and second and nobody out. Brings up the 3-hitter Mark Carpenter. He had a nice day in game 1. 1 for 2 with a single, a walk, and a run scored. First pitch for Carpenter. Gets around on one, pulls it down the left field line, but it will drop in foul territory. A long strike 1 for Carpenter. In the outfield from left to right for the Doc Stewarts here in game 2, it's Brevin Harrison in left field once again. In center field, Cole Collins. And in right field, Taj Flora. So not a lot of defensive changes here in game 2 of the Twin Bill. Back to the plate will be Carpenter with the 0-1 count after a ball lifted down the left field side foul. Cam Hartzell looking for an out here. Fires the 0-1, swing and a miss. Got him with a slow breaking ball out in front of it on the front foot. Carpenter couldn't slow down. He's behind 0-2. Out at second base, Max Price after a leadoff walk and then a single by Colin Takini. Runners at first and second. The 0-2 delivery here for Hartzell. Got him to swing and miss. And a punch out for Cam. He went up top, chasing the high heat. Carpenter goes down swinging. First strikeout in the game for Cam Hartzell. Strikeouts brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Don't swing and miss with dinner tonight. Stop by Mountain Mike's at the corner of Bellows and Harvard in Roseburg. Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be. So there is one away. The cleanup man will bat. This is Marcus Uloa Ford. Realizing game 1, we did not see a single left-handed batter up for Klamath Falls. Ball popped up foul back behind home for strike 1. Doc Stewart's trying to pull off a sweep here at home. Strike taken. 0-2 count. Hartzell trying to work his way back in after giving up a walk to start off the ball game and then a base hit. The 0-2 pitch grounded towards third. Burke steps on the bag. Throw across to Robbins. Will not be in time. So they'll get one runner. They get the lead runner. Out at third base is Price. 2 down. Fielder's choice for Uloa Ford to get on at first. And Jacoby Takini, the first baseman, will step up as the Doc Stewart's 1 out away from getting through this first inning without giving up a run after the first 2 runners get on base. First pitch, Takini takes on the outer half for a strike. Jacoby Takini starting at first base. The 0-1 pitch, grounded foul. Falls behind 0-2. Takini was back behind home in Game 1, now moves to first base defensively as P.J. Safford, who was the DH in Game 1, will play behind home defensively for Klamath Falls. The 0-2 pitch outside. Nice scoop behind the plate by Ty Hellenthal. That will keep the runners where they're at. Out at second base, Colin Takini sure had to put on the brakes quickly there, thinking that ball was definitely going to the backstop. The 1-2 pitch, comebacker up the middle, goes off the glove for Brooks Avery into center field, and a run will score. Throw goes all the way to the plate, but well late, and Jacoby Takini will drive in Colin Takini, and Klamath Falls will have their first lead of the night. RBI single by Jacoby Takini.
Hamilton.
That ball, comebacker, went right by, once again, Cam Hartzell on the mound. Hartzell tried to get his glove down, but couldn't get it there. Ground ball, third base side, charging in. Throw across the diamond by Burke for the final out. And it'll come one batter too late to keep the shutout going. Klamath Falls takes a 1-0 lead, but the Docs limit the damage as Corbin Hamilton grounds out to finish off the top half of the first. 1 run comes in on 2 hits. No Docs errors, 2 men left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Docs coming up to bat here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with a news review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Take a look at our starting lineup for the Roseburg Dr. Stewarts, led by Coach Eric Savage. Paxton Burke, the third baseman, leads things off. Brevin Harrison, the left fielder, will bat second. The shortstop, Brooks Avery, is batting third, followed by first baseman Cal Robbins. DHing again here in Game 2, Jake Johnson will bat in the 5 spot, followed by second baseman Logan Anderson hitting 6th. Batting 7th, the right fielder, Taj Flora. Catcher Ty Hellenthal will step in the 8th spot in the lineup card. And rounding out the starting 9 will be Cole Collins, the center fielder, batting 9th. DH being utilized for starting pitcher Camden Hartzell. On the mound for Klamath Falls here in Game 2 is going to be Colin Takini. Takini scored in the top half of the first, giving him a lead to work with here as he'll face the Doc Stewarts in the bottom of the first inning. Colin Takini,
Number 1, Paxton Burke.
out of Lakeview High School, all-league selection, went 7-2 with a .89 ERA during the spring, had 71 strikeouts for the Honkers. He will face off against Paxton Burke, who will bat left-handed. And Burke will foul off the first pitch. He usually likes to go after that first offering. So Colin Takini making his 11th appearance, his 7th start. He's got 2 complete games to his record. The 0-1 pitch, a low one inside, a 1-1 count. Tacchini is 2-5 on the summer, a 4.56 ERA. And he has 26 strikeouts to 10 walks. The 1-1 offering bounces in front of home. Defensively back behind the plate, P.J. Safford knocking that one down with the checks protector. Jacoby Tacchini at first, Max Price at second. On the left side of the infield, Mark Carpenter at third, and Marcus Ulloa Ford at short. Strike inner half at the knees. 2-2 count for Burke. In the outfield from left to right, Carson Pimley, Carson Seams, and Corbin Hamilton. 2-2 pitch. Underneath it for Burke, pulls this one right side. Hamilton on the run, that's over his head. Will take a hop all the way to the wall. Burke is rounding second, heading for third. A little bobble out in right field. They're going to send, no, Burke will put on the brakes. He might have had a chance at an inside the park home run. Throw got all the way to the plate, but it one hopped in front of the plate, took a high hop and backed up Safford back behind home. They probably could have sent him to tie this one up, but instead they will play it safe and keep the game-tying run at third. A leadoff triple to start things here in the bottom of the first. The Docs with multiple triples in this doubleheader against Klamath Falls today. That's the first here in Game 2. Pitch is at the top of the zone for a strike against Brevin Harrison. First hit of the ball game there goes to Paxton Burke. First hit is always brought to you by MSK True Value. Make sure that your summer projects are a hit with the MSK family of stores in Myrtle Creek and Tri-City. Breaking ball misses high and away to Harrison. Brevin, an RBI opportunity. He drove in 2 in Game 1. In fact, he batted with Burke at third base in the opener and was able to bring him around to score on a ball that was hit to center field but misplayed and dropped. Paxton Burke at third after a leadoff triple. Nobody out. The 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Harrison watches it go by. One away. And Brooks Avery will step in. Brooks Avery coming off of a pair of hits in Game 1. He had a single and a 2-run triple. He hit one to right field. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Obviously, the first time Docs are getting a look of Colin Tacchini, so trying to figure him out here in the first inning. Paxton Burke got a good look for that triple. Brooks Avery will ground one at the left side in the hole, picked up by Ulloa Ford, but his throw will not be able to make it to first in time. Infield single for Brooks Avery drives in the game-tying run. Docs with 2 hits here in the first inning. They tie it up 1-1. Burke comes in to score. Avery picks up another RBI. He leads the team in that category. That ball hit to the gap at short. Nice job by Marcus Ulloa Ford to get there, sliding to his right to get in front of that ball, but tried to get up quickly and make a throw, and Avery is just too fast. He has got a huge lead at first. Like, he is so far off the bag, and they will not have any chance to try and get him at second as he steals. I mean, he was just daring them to try and throw to first base. And I imagine if they had, he would have just taken off to second. So he'll get himself into scoring position. The pitch bounced in to Cal Robbins. Got away from the catcher, Safford. I don't think there was any way they were getting Avery on that pitch. The breaking ball is in for a called strike to Robbins. A 1-1 count. I still can't. Brooks Avery, there's the cutout in the infield turf that represents the grass, the little arc there that cuts out around the bags. He was. Jake Johnson, the on-deck hitter, waiting. He's the DH. The on-deck batter is brought to you by Evergreen Family Medicine. You can expect the unexpected with the Evergreen Family Medicine, serving Roseburg, Myrtle Creek, and Sutherland. You can always expect more from Evergreen. A look back to second base, but no throw. A 2-2 pitch. Takini with just one out. A lot of movement out there at second base for Brooks Avery, really trying to get in the head of Colin Takini. Three balls, 2 strikes. One out, 1 run in so far. Go-ahead run out at second base for the Docs, and a ball 4 issued to Cal Robbins. A 1-out walk puts runners at first and second.
Jake Johnson.
Walks issued by the opposing pitcher are brought to you by Umpqua Valley Fire Services. Things can get out of control quickly. That's why they provide unmatched fire safety and services with fire extinguisher and fire sprinkler services, plus much more. Visit uvfs.net to make sure that you're prepared when things get out of control. uvfs.net. Runner going, throw down to third, not in time. Up to second base will go Robbins. Stolen base for both Brooks Avery and Cal Robbins. 2 in scoring position. An 0-1 count here for Jake Johnson. Breaking ball from Takini, sails in high. The 1-1 pitch. Doc's trying to grab the lead here in the first. That pitch fouled off the hand. Nope. They're going to say that is a hit by pitch to load him up here. No argument coming from the Klamath Falls dugout. I thought that pitch had hit Jake on the hands or maybe off the nub of his bat. What could definitely be concerning, you definitely want to make sure that Jake's fingers weren't in the way on that one. He's grimacing down at first base, and he's grabbing at what looks to be his right hand a little bit there. Might be more at his wrist area. Now the Docs rolling here in the month of July, but an injury to Dane St. Clair has him out today, and now Jake Johnson, after getting hit by pitch, he continues to shake it out at first base, and Docs need him to be on the mound here as they try to make this postseason push, and so hopefully no injury there on his throwing arm. Top of the strike zone, a strike called against Logan Anderson. Bases are loaded with just 1 out. At third base is Brooks Avery. Great speed there. That pitch sailing over the head of Logan Anderson. He ducks out of the way. 1-1 count for Anderson. RBI opportunity here for Logan. Takes a little bit elevated. Up at the eyeballs for a 2-1 count. Logan had an RBI in game 1. He's got 12 on the season. Doc's getting a lot of production up and down the lineup card here this year. The 2-1, grounder right side. Could be a chance at 2. Flip to second for 1. Relay back to first. Will be there in time, and we're going to stay tied as Klamath Falls will get the defense to get out of things here in the first. That'll be a 4-6-3 double play to finish off the first inning for the Falcons. We are all tied at 1 as we go to the second. Docs 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Back with the top of the second inning here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
It's time to get your game on with Mountain Mike's oven-roasted chicken wings. They're meaty, juicy, in 4 bold sauces ready to tempt your taste buds. And they're hand-sauced and tossed for every order. It's game on with Mountain Mike's Pizza oven-roasted chicken wings. Get your wings today. Order online or on our app for carryout or delivery.
Both teams with a couple of hits in the first inning, and both teams with a run. It is tied at 1 as we start the second here. P.J. Safford leading things off. Fouls off the first pitch he sees from Camden Hartzell. Doc Stewart's Baseball brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. P.J. Safford saw a 10-game hit streak come to an end in Game 1, but he has been on base in 11 consecutive games, looking to try and find a way on to lead things off here in the second. He takes high, a 1-1 count. Both pitchers issued 1 walk in the first inning. A 1-1 pitch, breaking ball missing outside, 2 balls and a strike. Two-one delivery for Hartzell. Missing outside with his fastball. Just checking down in the dugout, see if I can find Jake Johnson down there. I think he might have an ice pack. It looks like a ball 4 issued, a walk issued to P.J. Safford to lead things, and he will make it 12 consecutive games that he's been on base. Hartzell issuing his second walk in the game. Looks like he's putting some ice on his forearm, on his right forearm there. So it's not the hand. It might be just above the wrist for Jake Johnson. Definitely something to monitor, and hopefully nothing too serious. Looking to bunt. Ooh, speaking of serious, that pitch rode in high. And that one catching the bill or right around the opening of the helmet for Carson Pimley. Pitch missing high. Hartzell goes to make sure that the hitter's okay. Obviously was not intending to do anything like that. You want to pitch high when a batter tries to square to bunt. So he wanted to throw that pitch up, and you try to kind of come in a little bit if you can. But that pitch rode in a bit too far on Pimley. Tried to get out of the way, but that one either grazed the front of the earpiece on his helmet, maybe the bill. It was definitely in a dangerous area. They check on him, and he's okay. He popped up pretty quickly. He laid down there for a second, then popped up real quick and started making his way to first. The home plate umpire, Austin Stone, stopped him to make sure that he seemed okay, and then the coaches come to check on him, and he makes his way down to first, and he seems to be all right. So first hit batter for Cam Hartzell. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Klamath Falls with a chance to try and recapture the lead here. Pickoff throw to second. Not quite in time. Anderson out there covering. Carson Seams. First time that we've seen the Carson duo here at the bottom of the order up to bat. They did not bat in Game 1. Strike taken outside corner for Seams. Seams batting .250 on the season. He has played in 25 games, making his 16th start of the year. He's got 6 RBI. He's looking to try and see if he can pick up a 7th here. Low and inside, 1-1 count. Out at second base, I think P.J. Safford kind of got a big lead thinking, and he got the defense thinking that the runner was going to try to take off. Neither runner did get going. 1-1 count. Seems the center fielder. It's kind of interesting. Game 1, the 8 and 9 hitters were both named Ryan. Here in Game 2, the 8-9 hitters both named Carson. Showing a bunt. They push it first base side. They throw to third. They get the force out there. Nice job by Cal Robbins. He came charging in and got to that ball quickly. He had the perfect angle to be able to throw to third base. It It would have been a tough play for him to turn and throw back to first, so a sacrifice bunt attempt doesn't work out for Klamath Falls.
Max Price.
Carson Pimley gets to second, but P.J. Safford forced out on the throw to third base. Seams is on at first, and now first pitch swinging for Max Price. Lifts it left side. It is caught by Brevin Harrison, and there's 2 down. After the first 2 runners got on base,
now batting number 33,
Doc Stewart's now 1 out away from getting out of this second inning without giving up any damage. 2 down, out at second base, Pimley. Seams at first. Up to bat, Colin Tacchini, the pitcher, looking to help his own cause. He scored in the first inning to give himself a lead. Now looking to try and give himself a lead with the bat in his hands. He swings through the first pitch for strike 1. Camden Hartzell, a walk and a hit batter here in the second. The 0-1 pitch, missing low. One count for Hartzell. Working against Tacchini. Catches the outside corner. Called strike 2. That one right around the belt buckle, outer half of the plate. The 1-2 count. Fouled into the netting on the first base side. Stays a 1-2 count. Sun starting to set. Shadows casting out across, but they're very soft shadows. Sun, I'm imagining, is battling through some of the haze that's hanging in the area. Diffusing the light a little bit, but nothing diffused about that. Strikeout pitch to finish things off here in the top of the second. Colin Tacchini goes down looking on the breaking ball. Second strikeout in the game for Camden Hartzell. He gets through the top of the second. No runs, no hits. There were no Doc's errors. 2 men left on base for K Falls. We are tied at 1 going to the bottom of the second on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Barnes Heating and Cooling, Cascade Community Credit Union, DC Farmers Co-op, Dr. Alanson Randall, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Roseburg, Clint Newell, Doc Stewart's baseball here on the score. The 2024 season winding down, the postseason right around the corner. This year's Doc's baseball on the score has been brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
First batter for the Doc Stewart.
Doc Stewart's here in the second inning. We'll look to see if they can move ahead of Klamath Falls in a 1-1 ball game. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up. Taj Flora will lead things off. Docs with 2 hits in the first inning against Colin Tacchini, but a double play finished things off, with the Docs having runners on base, on every base. First pitch to Flora is fouled back from Tacchini. Start things off 0-1. They're in the bottom of the second inning up in Eugene at Swede Johnson Stadium, and Medford has jumped out to a 2-0 lead over the Challengers in Game 2 of that doubleheader. Pitch outside, bounces by to the backstop. So Medford might be able to work a split against Eugene in that doubleheader today. 1-1 pitch outside, 2 balls and a strike. Although right now Eugene does have 2 runners on base in the bottom of that second inning, so they're threatening to try and get on the board and tie that one up. Flora, hard ground ball hit towards third, picked up, and an easy toss across the diamond for Carpenter, 1 away. That ball got on Carpenter quick, no time to react or time to think. He just, let's say, no time to think, just had to react, and he does so quickly. And able to get that first out. Had enough time for a nice, easy toss across the diamond to get Flora. Ty Hellenthal, the catcher, will bat. Swings away, first pitch, belted to center field on the run. It's tracked down by Carson Seams in center field, 2 down. Hellenthal gave that ball a ride to deep center field. That is a part of the park that is hard to reach and hard to get over the head of a good center fielder. And Carson Seams runs that one down, makes the catch over the shoulder, 2 away. That'll bring up Cole Collins, the center fielder. Collins bats in the 9 spot, takes high and inside for ball 1. Well, if Medford did pull off a win in game 2, take a look at the standings. A 1-0 pitch, showing a bunt. Breaking ball ends up low and outside. 2-0 count for Collins with 2 outs and nobody on. Docs would move within 1 game of first place if Eugene loses this nightcap up there against Medford. Collins will rip at 1, belts it into the air to center field. It's not going to carry quite as much, but it will be tracked down by Carson Weems as it started tailing towards the alley in right center. Balls in the air have been kind of moving towards right field a little bit more than you typically see. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for the Docs in a quiet 1-2-3 second inning. We'll go to the top of the 3rd inning. Doc Stewart's and Klamath Falls tied at 1 here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for a great lunch and great value with endless options for everyone? Then hurry over to Mountain Mike's Pizza for our all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. For one low price, you can choose from a variety of signature and specialty hot and delicious pizzas. Then build your own salad your way with a wide selection of fresh vegetables, toppings, and dressings with as little or as much as you want. Mountain Mike's Weekday Lunch Buffet. It's lunch and salad bar the way it ought to be.
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Fisher's Hearth and Home, Chuck Swarm and Family Auto Repair, Roseburg Disposal, Southern Septic, Evergreen Family Medicine. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Carpenter.
Top of the 3rd, 1-1 contest here between the Docs and Falcons. Today's ball game sponsored by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Camden Hartzell able to keep Klamath Falls off the board. They've sent 5 hitters to the plate in the 2nd inning. Hartzell will face the 3-hitter Mark Carpenter. He hits a ball, a line drive into left field. Too tall for Brooks Avery to get to, and it's a leadoff single for Carpenter. 1 on with nobody out for Klamath Falls. They've gotten the leadoff man on base in every inning. First 2 innings, it was a leadoff walk. Here in the 3rd inning, it's a leadoff single. 3rd hit in the game for Klamath Falls. 1 on, nobody down. And the cleanup hitter, Marcus Uloa Ford, will stand in. Uloa Ford, a fielder's choice to get on his last time up. First pitch for Hartzell. High and away. 1-0 count. Foul tip into the glove on a hard swing there from Uloa Ford. He wanted every bit of that baseball. Just got a piece of it. The 1-1 count. Hit right side. On the run, Taj Flora will track it down. 1 out. Back to first base goes Carpenter. Jacoby Tacchini had the RBI single in the first inning that scored the go-ahead run at the time for Klamath Falls, giving him a 1-0 lead. He'll bat here. He's got an opportunity, maybe with an extra base hit, to see if he could give Klamath Falls the lead once again. Carpenter on at first after his leadoff single here in the third inning. Hartzell out of the stretch. The right-hander delivers. Runner going. Throw down to second base. Well offline for Hellenthal, but it is snagged by Brooks Avery. Avery with his bare hand snagged that ball as it goes bouncing by into the center field area. Snagged it and kept it from getting by. Stolen base for Carpenter. At the plate, a 1-0 count for Jacoby Tacchini. Ground ball, third base side. Burke will look the runner back, slings it across to Robbins, 2 down. Good defense there behind Hartzell. That is textbook play there from Paxton Burke at third. I was kind of impressed as the ball was making its way into his glove, he was starting to look back the runner at third. Good hand-eye coordination and anticipation with the baseball. Had a nice routine bounding ball towards third base, make it a little bit easier there for him. A 1-0 count on a pitch inside to Corbin Hamilton. Hamilton grounded out to third in the first inning. Pickoff throw to second, not in time. 2 down. Cam Hartzell looking to try and keep it a 1-1 ball game. Just outside, a 2-0 count. Cam Hartzell has given up 3 hits in this one, but he's limited the damage. Misses outside. The count goes to 3-0. Hartzell out of Roseburg High School, graduating this year. As mentioned, I believe I heard just recently that he has gotten the opportunity to try and go play baseball there at UCC. So that's exciting for that youngster. His 3-0 pitch misses inside, though. He issues ball 4. Hartzell, first season here with the Doc Stewarts. With Roseburg High School this year, he started 6 games, had a 2-3 record in 35 2/3 innings, a 5.30 ERA. He's got 2 runners on to try and work around here after issuing a 2-out walk. That'll be the 3rd walk issued for Hartzell this contest. He'll look to get P.J. Safford for the final out. Safford swings through the first pitch. Safford drew a walk in the second inning. Starting things off with the swing and a miss. The 0-1 pitch. Grounder, comebacker to the mound, fielded by Hartzell. He'll run it over, and he pitches it to Robbins for the final out. And the Doc Stewarts get through things here in the top of the 3rd. K Falls continues to get guys on, but they can't bring them around. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Docs and Klamath Falls tied at 1 here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Cast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by MSK True Value, D.R. Johnson Lumber, And Umpqua Valley Fire Services.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Hold on to your taste buds because the heat is on. Introducing Mountain Mike's new jalapeno nut nuts. For limited time, they're just $5.99. Order online or on our app for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
Going to the bottom of the third here in Roseburg at Champion Car Wash Field. Tied at 1. Up in Eugene, it is Medford still in front 2-0 against the Challengers. The Mustangs were able to get out of the bottom of the second inning, leaving 3 runners on base for Eugene. So able to wiggle out of a sticky situation there for Medford as they try to get a split on the road against the Challengers. Doc's trying to get a sweep here at home against Klamath Falls. Doc's kind of grand picture thing, looking to try and sweep all 4 games, and to do so, they need to get this one here. First pitch swinging for Paxton Burke, launches it left field, but it will be playable out there for Carson Pimley. He makes the catch. That retires Burke, who had a triple to lead off the game in the first inning. He leads things off here in the third, 1 away. Lights haven't quite come on yet here at Champion Car Wash Field. Sun's still shining a bit, casting some shadows all the way across to right field, where some of the players over that direction got to fight the sun a little bit. High and inside, ball 1 to Brevin Harrison, who struck out in the first. Although with that diffused sunlight coming through some of the haze, doesn't look like it's quite as difficult playing out in right field right now. Pitch outside, 2-0 count for Brevin Harrison. Out of the windup here for Takini. That pitch is low, 3-0 count. Three balls, no strikes. That one is right down the middle for a strike. Taking all the way for Brevin Harrison. The 3-1 pitch. Ooh, look out. Ball 4 issued high and inside. A 1-out walk for Brevin Harrison. It's another walk for Colin Takini. Walks by the opposing pitchers, brought to you by Umpqua Valley Fire Services. Things can get out of control quickly. That's why they provide unmatched fire safety and services with fire extinguisher and fire sprinkler services, plus much more. Visit uvfs.net to make sure that you're prepared when things get out of control. Brooks Avery had an RBI single in the first inning. Batting here. Squaring to bunt. He'll push it first base side. That ball rolls away. Flip to first. Not going to get there. A desperation attempt by Colin Takini. A glove flip to the bag. And Brooks will beat that. And it wasn't caught at first by Jacoby Takini. And so on with an infield bunt single for Brooks Avery.
Now batting number 5.
Brevin Harrison will make his way to second base. Brooks Avery on at first. That'll be the third hit in the ballgame for the Docs. Brooks has 2 of the 3. Runners at first and second. Cal Robbins batting. He walked in the first inning. Robbins, a triple in game 1, looking to unleash on a ball here. Takes the first pitch low and outside, ball 1. A 1-0 delivery. Outside. 2-0 count to the Doc Stewart's cleanup hitter. 2 balls, no strikes. On the mound, Colin Tacchini trying to pitch through some pressure here with a runner out at second. Missing high and inside to Robbins. And it's a 3-0 count. Some good speed on the bases. Harrison out at second base can get going. We know the lightning speed that Brooks Avery has at first base. 3-0 pitch here for Robbins. He'll take one at the knees down the middle for a strike, expecting that one there. Good crowd hanging out with us here tonight at Champion Car Wash Field. Nice night for some baseball. Temperatures cooling just a bit into the low 80s. 3-1 delivery here for Tacchini with runners at first and second. He gets Robbins to pop one up right side. Playable out there for Corbin Hamilton. Catch made, tagging and heading for third goes Brevin Harrison. The throw gets by. Brooks Avery will make his way to second. Backing up the play, the pitcher. Tacchini there to knock that ball down and make sure he doesn't get by. Brevin Harrison into third base.
The next batter, number 17, Jake Johnson.
Might have knocked the wind out of himself getting into third there with his head first slide. Up to second base on that throw, Brooks Avery. So both runners move up 90 feet with 2 down. Up to bat will be Jake Johnson. Good to see that he's still batting after getting hit on the forearm by a pitch in the first inning. Breaking ball outside, a 1-0 count. Jake got on, hit by a pitch, then was the first out in an inning-ending double play in that first inning. 1-0 pitch outside, goes to 2-0, knocked down. Behind the plate, P.J. Safford got some leather on it, and that keeps the runners out where they are, second and third base. Docs in a 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the third. A strike, 2 balls and a strike against Jake Johnson. Two-one count. Jake looking for something he can drive here. He'll take a breaking ball high. And he will readjust something with his sneakers and digs back in. 2 down. 3-1 pitch coming up for Tacchini. Breaking ball stays elevated, and the bases are loaded on another walk. Third walk in the game for Colin Tacchini. Jake Johnson on at first.
Now batting number 4, Logan.
So runners on every bag on the infield, and Logan Anderson trying to make amends for grounding into a double play to finish things in the first. It's going to prompt a visit out to the mound for head coach Pete Whistler here in the third inning. Doc Stewart's Baseball Today brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Klamath Falls needs just one more out to avoid giving up the lead here in the third inning. Doc Stewart's trying to take the lead for the first time here in the nightcap. They led wire to wire in game 1. But Klamath Falls took the lead in the top half of the first inning. Docs tied it up in the bottom half of the first. So Docs have not led here in game 2 of the day. First pitch, high and inside to Logan Anderson. Nowhere to put a runner. So Tacchini can't afford to fall too far behind in this at-bat against Logan Anderson. A 1-0 count. Anderson batting in the 6th spot. Grounds one up the middle. Bounding ball fielded. Throw to first base. Will get there in time, and Klamath Falls will get through the jam. 6-3, the final put out. Behind second base, Marcus Ulloa Ford. A strike to the first base bag to finish it off. Docs will leave the bases loaded here in the third inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 3 men left on, and it is still 1-1 in this one. Top of the fourth coming up here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Johnson Lumber Company, a forward-thinking family company, has been operating in the Douglas County community for over 60 years. Founded by Don R. Johnson, the man who set the tone of commitment to these local communities by providing stable, long-term employment. D.R. Johnson Lumber Company understands the significance of investing in our youth because they are the foundation of our future. That's why they're a proud supporter of Roseburg Dock Stewart's. Come watch the Docks swing some lumber with D.R. Johnson Lumber Company. Go Docks!
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Neal Company Real Estate, American Family Insurance, Champion Car Wash, Cooper's Pest Control, Mountain Mike's Pizza. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Top of the fourth inning, 1-1 ball game. The 8-9-1 hitters coming up for Klamath Falls. Carson Pimley at the plate. Was hit by a pitch his last time up. Takes a 1-0 pitch, low and outside. The count goes to 2-0. Pimley hit in the helmet in that at-bat. Gets around and fouls one in the air. Could be playable at first base. Cal Robbins overruns it as he comes charging in. Ball bounce on the turf and then up on the roof of the visiting dugout on the first base side. So it's a 2-1 count. Missed opportunity for the Docs to try and get the first out there. Wind and fire. Breaking ball inside corner on the curveball there for Cam Hartzell. What a pitch. Hits the spot perfectly. Lights starting to flicker on here at Champion Car Wash Field. Ball fouled away, 2-2. I know that they've been, I think, discussing possibly upgrading these lights at some point. It would be awesome to see that. High and inside, 3-2 count. The old halogen lights, they take a little while to warm up. So it'd be cool to see the LEDs get installed here at some point in the future. 3-2 pitch from Hartzell, misses outside, and there's ball 4. The runner races down to first. A throw down that way, almost out at first base. Carson Pimley racing down there, taking a bit of a wide turn because the ball got by to the backstop.
The next batter, number 23, Carson Sims.
And having to chase it down was Ty Hellenthal. Hellenthal makes the throw down there, and Robbins throwing down a tag. They couldn't quite get it there in time, but almost caught him napping as he tried to take a bit of a turn at first. Runner going, swing and a miss, throw down to second. Not going to get the tag there in time. Sliding in front, Brooks Avery. Cutting things off in front, had to try and reach back behind him to see if he could get a tag down on Pimley. He could not. 0-1 count for Carson Sims at the plate. Hartzell's delivery outside, 1-1. One count. Fastball hits the outside corner for strike 2. Docs Baseball brought to you by Chuck Swarm and Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? The 1-2 outside. Well, this day in baseball history, how about this? It seems like such a normal occurrence to us here in this day and age. Is a 2-2 pitch. Lifted left side, playable. Long run out there in left field, though, for Brevin Harrison. He makes the catch. He was shading towards the middle of the field, and Harrison had to make a long run towards the foul line. Gets underneath that one for the first out here in the 4th inning. Staying at second base is Pimley. Top of the order, Max Price will bat. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Well, back in 1859, how about that for a date? 1859 on this day, July 20th. It's a strike taken for Price. It was the first ever baseball game with paying fans in attention. That's right, paying fans. They had to buy tickets to get into the game. So 0-1 pitch, catches the outside corner, 0-2. It was the first ever game with fans who bought tickets. New York beat Brooklyn 22-18 in that one. They had about 1,500 in attendance. As a ball inside, leaning out of the way for Price. A ball and 2 strikes against him with 1 out and a man at second. Kind of crazy to think that it wasn't necessarily something, I guess, if you're paying the players, professional baseball. Strike 3 called. Breaking ball. Goes down looking. Max Price 0 for 2 in the ballgame with that strikeout. 3rd in the game for Cam Hartzell. 2 down with a man at second base, and Colin Tacchini will bat. Tacchini is 1 for 2 today. Swings through on the first pitch. But 1,500, I can't imagine tickets were all that expensive back in 1859. Maybe a nickel. The 0-1 delivery from Hartzell. Ball goes off the glove for Hellenthal, with the runner doesn't decide to take off. Out at second base, Pimley hangs out there. Hellenthal got up quickly to get to the baseball, but then started trotting as that ball went to the backstop. I think he assumed that the runner was going to try to go, and then he wouldn't have much of a chance to try and make a play on it. 1-1 pitch, hit up the middle, diving, stopped by Brooks Avery, throw from second base, gets by, and a run heading to the plate. Cal Robbins, throw to the plate, won't get there in time, and Klamath Falls takes the lead. Brooks Avery with a spectacular diving stop up the middle, but he can't make an accurate throw to first, and Klamath Falls will take advantage. They make it a 2-1 lead, and they'll have a man at second base still. So Colin Tacchini gets on with the errant throw.
Number 2, Mark Carpenter.
And makes his way to second base. First error on the day for the Doc Stewarts. Coming in to score, Pimley on the error. He almost didn't come home on that throw that got by at first base. So Mark Carpenter will bat. He's 1 for 2 with a single his last time as a pickoff throw to second base. It was a great first half of the play for Brooks Avery, but his throw to first base off line. Cal Robbins had to go chase it down. A pitch outside, 1-0 count for Mark Carpenter. And that'll force Camden Hartzell to have to throw a little extra here in this 4th inning. Doc Stewart's with Daniel Withers, looking like he was throwing recently in the bullpen as a ball fouled away. Strike 1 for Carpenter, 1-1 count. A 1-1 count. The score is 2-1 is what I was thinking of. 2-1, Klamath Falls in front here in the 4th inning with 2 outs. Strike on the outside corner for Hartzell. Not quite 1,500 in attendance for our game. Pain to get in here tonight, but nonetheless, good attendance here for tonight's ball game. 1-2 pitch for Hartzell. Breaking ball lifted right side, foul territory. Tracking it, Cal Robbins will make the play just into foul territory. to finish off things here in the top of the 4th inning. But Klamath Falls will capitalize on a throwing error, and they get a run across. 1 run on no hits, 1 Doc's error, and 1 man left on base for the Falcons. 2-1 our score. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage. Doc Stewart's Baseball on the Score brought to you by Flyway Travel. Contact the travel experts at Travel Leader Flyway Travel. Make sure that you have an agent in your corner. Call 541-672-5701. Live video coverage of today's ball game is streaming at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. Appreciate everybody tuning in. The live video stream is brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. Go to the bottom of the 4th. Docs needing to make up at least a run to tie this one back up. Docs will have Taj Flora, Ty Hellenthal, and Cole Collins due up once again. So the first 3 innings, had 6 hitters come to the plate in the first, 3 hitters in the second, 6 hitters come to the plate in the third, and it'll be the same bottom third of the lineup up again here in the 4th. So kind of an interesting start for the Doc Stewarts there as they've kind of followed a trend. First pitch, strike 1 to Taj Flora. Fouled off the second pitch for an 0-2 count against Colin Takini, who continues to throw for the Klamath Falls Falcons. Area 4 league doubleheader here tonight for the Doc Stewarts. They won game 1 9-1, make that 9-2. As a pitch high and inside, got a piece of it. Flora stays alive. I think he might have swung after what would have been ball 1. Another this day in baseball history happened back in 1969. I thought this was interesting. As time called before the 0-2 pitch here for Flora. Gaylord Perry, right-handed pitcher for San Francisco, hitting a home run. His first hit and his first home run in his career. Of course, he was a pitcher, didn't hit a lot. That's not necessarily the interesting part about it. 1-2 pitch here from Takini, just a little high. The count goes to 2-2. So Gaylord Perry hits a home run in 1969. The noteworthy part of that comes in the second half of the story. The 2-2 from Takini. That ball fouled over the right side. Obviously, as a pitcher, not a lot of power. The year before, it was said on the record that there would be a man on the moon before Gaylord Perry ever hit a home run. There's a 2-2 pitch. Fouled off the front foot for Flora, and it'll stay a 2-2 count. So a year before, it was said that there would be a man on the moon before Gaylord Perry ever hits a home run. Well, he hit that home run on July 20th, 1969, and his home run came about 20 minutes after the team learned that a man had, in fact, landed on the moon. 2-2 pitch. In the air, right side, shallow right field, going to be playable for second baseman Max Price. 1 away for the Doc Stewarts. How about that for
Next
coincidences?
batter, number 12, Ty Hellenthal.
Our lives provide plenty of unique coincidences that happen, and it's just kind of funny that someone went on the record a year earlier and said that he wouldn't hit a home run before a man landed on the moon. Well, sure enough, he did not. It came 20 minutes after it had actually happened. This day in baseball history, high and away. I don't know if I don't know how many baseball fans go and check out baseballreference.com, but they got a great section on there for this day in baseball history with all sorts of fun information on there. 1-0 pitch, fouled away by Ty Hellenthal. 1-1 count. Hellenthal 0 for 1 in the game with a fly ball out to deep center field back in the second inning. It's kind of cool to peruse from that, and I try to catch some of the things that seem the most interesting. Baseball's been around for a long time. There's a lot of information on those pages. High, 2-1 count for Hellenthal. Game 2 of our doubleheader. Lights starting to take some effect here as the sun is below the horizon. Jam shot popped up, foul territory, possibly there in time. Yep, first baseman Jacoby Tacchini will track it down. Second out made in foul territory for the Doc Stewarts. They trail by a run with nobody on base. Cole Collins will try to get something started. Two away, a 2-1 lead for Klamath Falls. And up to bat will be Cole Collins, a 9-hitter. He flew out to center field back in the second inning as well. Breaking ball just elevated, 1-0 count. Collins trying to see if he can keep this fourth inning going and send it back to the top of the order. Sends that one well out of play. Down the right line. And it is a 1-1 count. Here in Roseburg, Klamath Falls trying to steal one from the Doc Stewarts, who have been very good at home against league opponents. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed by Collins. A ball and 2 strikes. Meanwhile, up in Eugene, they are in the bottom of the third inning, and the Challengers have battled back. They've tied the game up with Medford at 2-2. And that is after 3 innings of play. The 1-2 pitch to Collins outside, bouncing in front of the plate. So Medford and Eugene are tied at 2 runs apiece in game 2 of their doubleheader. The right-hander on the mound, Colin Tacchini, trying to keep this 1-run lead intact. Another ball fouled off by Collins. He fights that breaking ball off. Did a nice job to sit on it, but couldn't square it up. That pitch coming in high and inside. Sat on it long enough to get a piece of it. Tacchini on the first base side of the rubber will wind and fire. That is a foul ball swinging at a pitch that came in high and inside and made contact with Cole Collins. He's all right. I'm not sure if it hit him. It seemed like it did. Might have hit his bat. Either way, he swung all the way through, so it's a foul ball. Not a hit by pitch if it did hit him. A 2-2 count once again for Tacchini. Again fouled away. Cole Collins battling his way out there. Doc Stewart's trying to get a win in game 2 and see if they can move 2 games ahead of Medford in the standings if the Mustangs can't pull out a win in game 2 up in Eugene. Two balls, 2 strikes. This battle has continued on. Cole Collins has fouled off about 4 or 5 pitches in a row here. 2-2 pitch once again for Tacchini. He'll spike one in the turf out in front of home. And the count goes full. Long at bat, able to work his way back to this 3-2 count. The 3-2 pitch from Tacchini. Collins swings through for strike 3. They will throw down to first base to get him. And a 1-2-3, although it was a battle, a 1-2-3, bottom of the 4th inning for the Doc Stewarts. Second strikeout in the game for Colin Tacchini. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on for the Doc Stewarts. We're through 4 innings of play as we go to the top of the 5th on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Cam Hartzell continues to throw for the Doc Stewarts as we begin the 5th inning here at Champion Car Wash Field. He misses low and outside, a 2-0 count against Marcus Uloa Ford. Did see Daniel Withers warming up for the Doc Stewarts at one point earlier, so he may be ready to go if needed here. Ball popped up, and that'll be back behind home. Fouled away by Uloa Ford for strike 1. Docs Baseball brought to you by Dr. Alanson Randall, Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Visit drrandall.com or call him at 541-378-6694. A bender in for a called strike. Uloa Ford with a 2-2 count against Cam Hartzell. Chops at another breaking ball, fouls it off. Definitely feels hazy. Sky's looking a little bit hazier and a little bit of a reddish tint to them in some areas. There's a 2-2 pitch. Grounded right side. Backhand by Anderson. Has to make a quick throw as he turns and fires it to first base to get him. One away. Logan Anderson up the middle making the defensive stop for the Doc Stewarts. So one down with nobody on for Klamath Falls is Jacoby Tacchini will bat. He's 1 for 2. Had an RBI single in the first inning. Lights really starting to take some effect here now as we hitting the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour. Just elevated above the strike zone on the first pitch for Tacchini, the 5-hitter in the lineup. Take a look at our D.R. Johnson Lumber Company scoreboard update as a ground ball hit, hard third base. Plenty of time for Burke as he slings it across, 2 down. With 2 away, it'll be Corbin Hamilton coming up to bat. For Klamath Falls in this one, they've got 2 runs on 3 hits so far. No errors for the Falcons. They've left 7 men on base. As the first pitch low for ball 1. For the Doc Stewarts, 1 run on 3 hits. They've committed 1 error, and they've left 5 men on base. Both teams scoring in the first inning. Klamath Falls taking the lead again in the 4th inning. And they are on top 2-1. D.R. Johnson Lumber Company, a progressive family-owned company, proudly supporting our local youth. Come on out and watch the Docs swing some lumber. D.R. Johnson making lumber since 1951. High and inside. Count goes 3-0 here against Hamilton, who drew a walk back in the 3rd inning from Hartzell. Hartzell with 4 walks allowed in this one. His 3-0 pitch is good for a strike. Temperatures did drastically drop here. We're down to mid-70s. So So 3-1 misses for ball 4. A 2-out walk issued by Cam Hartzell.
The next batter, number 8.
His 5th
PJ
walk in the
Safford.
ball game. And it'll bring up P.J. Safford, who's 0 for 1 in the game. Grounded back to the mound his last time up. There's maybe these hazy clouds from maybe some of the wildfires in the region, blocking out the sun and really dropping the temperature. I think maybe we were expecting some cooler temperatures through the weekend as well, as a pitch low and outside, a 1-0 count. That might be welcomed. I'm not sure what Klamath Falls is looking like for Monday when we're expected to make a trip down there. As a time called out to the mound goes Hellenthal to have a conversation with Hartzell. Klamath Falls right now, they are looking at 83 degrees down there. They were near 100 in K Falls today. When we head down that direction on Monday, 95 degrees. Whew, it's going to be staying pretty warm down there in K Falls. So our trip to Kiger is going to be a toasty one. 1-0 pitch is outside low. Dropping to his knees behind the plate. Hellenthal makes sure that ball does not get by. Hartzell got the first 2 outs on a couple of ground outs. Got him kind of quickly. Now he's looking to try and get the final one, but he issued a walk and he's fallen behind 2-0 against P.J. Safford. Gets Safford to hit a soft liner right side. It drops into the outfield grass. Going first to third will be Hamilton. The throw comes back in from Flora. Throw over to first base, not going to be in time. Tag applied there by Robbins as Safford is on safely with a base hit. Runners on the corners for K Falls. And Carson Pimley will try to see if he can help the team take advantage with 2 down. Pimley hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. Drew a walk in the 4th inning and eventually came around to score on a throwing error. First pitch popped up. It will get out of play back behind home, landing on the roof above us. 0-1 count to start here for Pimley, the 8-hitter. 5th batter to the step up to the plate here in the 5th inning for Klamath Falls. They lead it 2-1 and are threatening to add to it here. Hartzell's 0-1 pitch misses low. They're into the middle of the 4th up in Eugene, still 2-2. Medford loaded the bases with just 1 out, but a double play ends it in the top of the 4th there to keep it a tie ball game. 2-2 between the Mustangs and Challengers. Sharply hit ground ball foul down the third base line. Knocked down there by Coach Pete Whistler at third base. 2 strikes now against Pimley. Hartzell trying to get through this 5th inning. They still have Withers is back up and throwing in the bullpen for the Docs. 1-2 pitch. High and away. Not a bad spot. Just away from the strike zone. Pimley decides not to chase after it. Right decision there. Steps out. He looks a long time down at third base to Coach Whistler. 2-2 count for Hartzell. Will come set. 2-2 foul right back into the netting. And the battle for Pimley will continue. Been a lot of long battles in the at-bats here in this series today. Hitters doing a good job of making contact and fighting off pitches. 2-2 from Hartzell. Inside, and it did get him apparently. Got the jersey is apparently the signal from the home plate umpire. Second time that Pimley's been hit by a pitch in this one, and that loads him up. And with 2 outs, bases loaded, here comes pitching coach A.J. Doolittle out to the mound for a conversation. Docs are going to have to work through a jam here. Coach Eric Savage up out of the dugout as well, kind of surveying the field, looking to the dugout to figure out, looking to the bullpen, trying to decide what they want to do if they make a change here with Withers out there throwing. Coach Doolittle will walk back to the dugout, and we'll see if Coach Savage maybe makes a return trip out there. They're gonna let Hartzell, it looks like, continue to throw here. Withers is out there. He seems to be ready to go if needed, when needed. So it's going to be Camden Hartzell here with the bases loaded, needing one more out to try and get. Carson seems the 9-hitter will be the guy looking to try and take advantage. Bases loaded with 2 down. Seems the 9-hitter is 0 for 2. Fielder's choice and a fly ball out to left field. Takes at the knees for strike 1. Hartzell trying to get the Docs through this 5th inning, down by just 1. But for Klamath Falls, a chance to try and stretch out the lead a little bit. Another strike taken. Hartzell staying low in the zone on the first 2 pitches. The 0-2, they look to set it up high. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Big strikeout there for Cam Hartzell. And he will get the Doc Stewarts through the top of the 5th inning. He pitched in some pressure there, and he comes through. We will head to the bottom of the 5th inning. A big Mountain Mike's Pizza strikeout for Cam Hartzell, his 4th in the ballgame, and he'll strand the 3 runners on base. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 3 men on for Klamath Falls. It's still 2-1. Doc Stewart's trailing, looking to get the offense going when we return on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your 4-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
It's time to get your game on with Mountain Mike's oven roasted chicken wings. They're meaty, juicy, in 4 bold sauces ready to tempt your taste buds. And they're hand sauced and tossed for every order. It's game on with Mountain Mike's Pizza oven roasted chicken wings. Get your wings today. Order online or on our app for carryout or delivery.
Who's on deck for the Doc Stewarts here in the bottom of the 5th inning is brought to you by Evergreen Family Medicine. Expect the unexpected at Evergreen Family Medicine. Serving Roseburg, Myrtle Creek, and Sutherland, you can always expect more from Evergreen. Docs will have Paxton Burke, Brevin Harrison, and Brooks Avery due up against Klamath Falls. On the mound, Colin Tacchini. He's allowed 3 hits, but just the 1 run back in the 1st inning. He's pitching with a 2-1 advantage in this ball game. Doc Stewart's looking to try and erase that with the top half of the order coming up here. Paxton Burke, a triple back in the 1st inning. He would eventually score for the only run in the game so far for the Doc Stewarts. Left-handed batter, switch hitter technically, but he'll bat left-handed here. Outside on the first offering from Tacchini. Eugene has taken a lead in the bottom half of the 4th inning up there against Medford. 1-0 count. Strike called on the inside corner. Again, if Eugene does take the first 2 games in that series, the worst they can do would be finish tied with Roseburg for first place in the Area 4 standings. Breaking ball high to Paxton Burke. He's got a 2-1 count. Roseburg and Eugene did split their 4-game series, so if they were to finish tied, then there would be no head-to-head tiebreaker that would easily break that. So then you may have to go to something else, but I don't know if they would truly look through all of that. I don't know. Maybe they do. 2-2 count to Paxton Burke here. Takes high and inside, leaning out of the way. Full count. Colin Tacchini has issued 3 walks in this one. The 3-2 pitch to Burke. Takes high and inside again, and he will draw the leadoff walk here in the 5th inning. That is the game-tying run on base for the Doc Stewarts. Walks by the opposing pitchers. Brought to you by Umpqua Valley Fire Services. Visit uvfs.net to make sure you're prepared when things get out of control. No activity going on in the bullpen for Klamath Falls. They are relying on Colin Tacchini right now. That'll bring up Brevin Harrison. He walked his last time up. Also struck out back in the first. Pickoff throw. In safely goes Burke. Two to 1 the score in this ball game here in the bottom of the 5th. Another pickoff throw. Bounces in, a nice scoop by Jacoby Tacchini. I did mean to ask, but I did forget to do so before the game. Ask the relationship between Jacoby and Colin Tacchini. They went to different schools this last spring, so kind of feels like they're probably not brothers. As a bunt attempt by Brevin is fouled for strike 1. Fouled off. He popped that one into foul territory. Feels like there's been Tacchinis on the roster for Klamath Falls for quite some time now. I don't believe it's been these same Tacchinis the entire time, but another pickoff throw over there by Colin. So, might be a big family down in that area, would be my assumption there. 0-1 count right now for Brevin Harrison. He hasn't seen many. He's only seen the one pitch. He does square to bunt again. He'll take low. Throw down to first base. The back pick not there in time. 1-1 count. They are very worried on Paxton Burke out at first base. Burke. We know he's got good speed. Had a stolen base in game 1. The 1-1 count. Showing the bunt. Popped up again. Playable. The catcher will secure it behind home. Play made by P.J. Safford. And there is out number 1. He wanted to see Brevin Harrison lay down a sac bunt. He just couldn't get it down. Popped everything up. One out with the man at first, Brooks Avery. He's 2 for 2 in this game with a pair of singles. He also has an RBI and 2 stolen bases. Burke out at first base, a healthy lead. And a pickoff throw that direction. It's going to look. Paxton Burke, he's only played about half the season with the Doc Stewarts. He does have 8 stolen bases. That is, at least that was coming into today's doubleheader. So he's got 9 now. And that would tie him for second on the team. As a ball hit out towards right field. It looks playable. It will be caught. And Avery going opposite field. Can't drop that one in. 2 down.
The next batter, number 24.
So with 2 away after a leadoff walk, Doc Stewarts will have to see if they can pull out some 2-out magic here in the bottom of the 5th, trying to tie this ball game up. Cal Robbins, a walk in the first inning, flew out to right field in the 3rd. On the mound, Colin Tacchini, the right-hander, trying to keep this lead intact as that ball fouled off out towards the dirt parking lot near Stewart Park here at Champion Car Wash Field. Brooks Avery, let's see. Avery had 2 stolen bases this game. He didn't have a stolen base in game 1, but with 2 more, Brooks Avery now at 25 on the season. Runner going Throw down to second base. They can't handle it down there. Sliding in safely will go Burke. He's into scoring position, a 1-1 count at the plate for Cal Robbins. The Doc Stewart's needing to get some two-out magic here and trying to do something with a man in scoring position. They have not done well in that spot here in this ball game. Visit out to the mound here for Coach Pete Whistler. I believe that's him. Yeah, that is Coach Whistler making the trip out to the mound. Runner at second base. A 1-1 count for Cal Robbins, the cleanup hitter. And 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning as the Doc Stewarts trail by 1 against Klamath Falls. RBI opportunity. It was Brooks Avery that drove in the first run of the game back in the first. Cal Robbins looking to try and drive in Burke, who scored in the first inning. Try and drive him in here. If you wish that your drive home was taking you to a house with more rooms, a bigger yard, a walk-in closet, or a shop, check out Neal Company Real Estate at nealco.com for the latest listings around Douglas County. Their agents can help you score the home of your dreams. Cal stands back in. He's got a 1-1 pitch coming. Takes high. Robbins hasn't got a lot of pitches to go after in his at-bats today, it feels like. Did have a triple back in game 1, a ball that got over the right fielder and bounced all the way to the wall. I believe they've intentionally walked Cal Robbins with 2 down. So they will put Robbins on and let Jake Johnson come to the plate. Jake has been walked and hit by a pitch.
The next batter for the Docs, number 17, Jake Johnson.
So Jake will stand in, looking to try and capitalize on the situation here. Jake Johnson, 7 RBI coming into today's doubleheader. Waiting on the first pitch. Takes high and away on a curveball. Jake, no RBIs in game 1, so he does step to the plate with 7 RBI. He's got a chance to try and possibly tie this ball game up with a base hit. Out at second base, good speed in Paxton Burke. Cal Robbins at first with a healthy lead. There's one right down the middle for a strike. That was probably one that Jake wishing he had not let go by without giving it a chance to cut at there. 1-1 count. On the mound, Colin Tacchini trying to work through the 5th inning, keep a 2-1 lead intact. Bounces outside, gonna go ahead and take for third, and will get in without a throw. Paxton Burke at third base on the pitch in the dirt. So Burke finds his way 90 feet from home, a 2-1 count for Jake Johnson, and now a base hit for sure will tie this one up. At first base, still Cal Robbins after the intentional walk. And that kind of changes things a little bit here. You've got the third baseman playing close to the bag there, but the first baseman now has to hold on Cal Robbins at first. So it makes a little bit extra space on the infield here for the Doc Stewarts. See if Jake can squeeze one through. He'll ground one left side, is picked up. Throw to first base. Low, but snagged off the turf by Jacoby Tacchini. And Mark Carpenter will make the play for Klamath Falls to keep the 2-1 lead intact. Jake Johnson a ground out to finish things here in the 5th inning. That ball needed a little bit more smoke on it to squeeze on through. Nice job by Carpenter at third. And it keeps Klamath Falls in front as we go to the top of the 6th here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Barnes Heating and Cooling, Cascade Community Credit Union, DC Farmers Co-op, Dr. Alanson Randall, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
First batter for Klamath Falls to lead off the top of the 6th inning, number 24, Max Price.
Heading to the top of the 6th inning, getting late in this one here between the Doc Stewarts and the Klamath Falls Falcons. New man on the mound for the Docs will be Daniel Withers, who fires a breaking ball inside to the leadoff man, Max Price, who will start things here for Klamath Falls in the 6th. 1-2-3 hitters coming up. The 1-0 pitch. Withers gets a ground ball right side. Scooped up by Logan Anderson, who will rifle it. Short range. Gets it to Cal Robbins at first, 1 away.
Next batter, number 33.
So Cam Hartzell will exit the game. He's right now on the hook for the loss, hoping the team can bail him out here the rest of this game, and he can take a no decision home with him tonight. Colin Tacchini will step in, 1 for 3, scoring a run back in the first inning. He takes a curveball for strike 1. Hartzell goes 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, I would say only 1 earned run, 4 hits, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, 2 hit batters. 0-1 from Withers is swung on and missed for strike 2. Daniel Withers taking over. He's making his 4th appearance. He has 1 start. He's got a 1-0 win-loss record. So mainly been out of the bullpen. His 0-2 pitch outside. And it's a 1-2 count. Withers 8 2/3 innings worked this summer. He hasn't been used heavily. 4.85 ERA, 11 strikeouts, 8 walks. He's got a 1-2 count, looking to try and keep the Doc Stewarts within 1 here in this ball game. Goes to the fastball, missing low and inside to the right-handed batter, Colin Tacchini. 2 balls, 2 strikes here as we play under the lights at Champion Car Wash Field. Docs will play their final game here on this field coming up tomorrow. Breaking ball missing high and inside. A lot of movement, just misses the spot. Full count to Tacchini. Docs hosting the Mid-Valley Southpaws for a non-league single game tomorrow at 2 o'clock. It'll be the final home game for the Doc Stewarts this summer. Kind of crazy that it's already gotten to that point. Breaking ball, strike 3, froze him. That pitch had a ton of movement on it, and Tacchini couldn't track it. He goes down looking, his 2nd strikeout in the game. First for Daniel Withers. Mark Carpenter will bat. Stands in with 2 down and nobody on base. Carpenter 1 for 3 in this one. First pitch missing inside with the breaking ball for Withers. Single A baseball, though, they're going to have Dr. Randall's and Pepsi bottle caps. They'll be having some games here into next week. As a 1-0 pitch is fouled off by Carpenter. Earlier today, both Dr. Randall's and Pepsi bottle caps were in action. Dr. Randall snapped their losing streak with a 10-5 win at Tigard earlier today, but then they lost the second game of a doubleheader 10-3. The 1-1 pitch catches the outside corner for strike 2. Pepsi Bottle Caps, they picked up a win on the road against a Corvallis Single A Legion team. 11-7 the final score in that one. Pepsi getting the win. The 1-2 pitch, reaching on a breaking ball. 1 hops to Logan Anderson. He fires a fastball over to Cal Robbins for the final out here in the top half of the 6th. So the Doc Stewarts get some defense behind Daniel Withers. And they are able to keep a clean top of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Docs trail 2-1 on 541radio.com and on the Score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for a great lunch and great value with endless options for everyone? Then hurry over to Mountain Mike's Pizza for our all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. For one low price, you can choose from a variety of signature and specialty hot and delicious pizzas. Then build your own salad your way with a wide selection of fresh vegetables, toppings, and dressings with as little or as much as you want. Mountain Mike's Weekday Lunch Buffet. It's lunch and salad bar the way it ought to be.
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Fisher's Hearth and Home, Chuck Swarm and Family Auto Repair, Roseburg Disposal, Southern Septic, Evergreen Family Medicine. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Doc Stewart's looking to try and strike before they are running out of time here in this one. They are looking to try and finish off the season strong against Klamath Falls, the last place team in Area 4. And the Doc Stewarts need at least 1 to tie it up, 2 to take a lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning.
For the Docs, number 4,
Logan Anderson had a nice half inning defensively in the top half of the 6th. He'll stand in here to begin the bottom of the 6th. First pitch swinging, belts that one right side. Playable out there once again for Corbin Hamilton, who has been busy on the right side of the outfield. 1 down. Taj Flora will stand in with 1 out, nobody on. Docs Baseball brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. Taj 0 for 2 in this one. That comes after he was 2 for 3 in game 1. First pitch out in front of a breaking ball. Took a hefty cut at that one. Could not connect with it. Flora has grounded out and popped out on the infield. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball he takes for strike 2. Game 2 of our doubleheader here. Docs will make their way down to Kiger Stadium on Monday for a twin bill down there, starting at 5 o'clock there as well. The 0-2 pitch outside from Colin Tacchini, who's into his 6th inning of work as the starter for Klamath Falls. Flora waits on the 1-2 pitch. Off speed outside. Couldn't get the hitter to chase there for Tacchini. Not a bad pitch on the 2-strike approach. Evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Flora. That pitch is low, knocked down behind the plate by Safford, and the count goes full. Three-two count. Full count pitch. Ball 4 issued for the Doc Stewarts. A 1-out walk. Game tying run on base once again for the Stewies. 2 walks in the 5th inning for Colin Tacchini, and he issues 1 here. He was able to pitch out of the trouble there in the 5th inning.
Now
So
batting
here,
number 12, Ty Hellenthal.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 walks total for Colin Tacchini in this one. He's also hit a batter. Ty Hellenthal, he's 0 for 2 with a couple of fly ball outs. Pickoff throw, slap on the back as Flora with the long arms gets back in. Taj Flora, 6'5". He's got a long reach out there. He's got just 1 stolen base this season. A back pick down to first. He'll get back in safely. 1-0 count for Hellenthal. I'll make it 2 stolen bases. Flora did steal 1 in game 1. Time called, and Down to third base, Ty Hellenthal will go talk with Coach Savage. Out to the mound, P.J. Safford will have a conversation with Takini and Mark Carpenter, who comes over from third base. I imagine we'll see Mark Carpenter as one of the pitchers on Monday down in Klamath Falls. Might also see Marcus Uloa Ford. I imagine we see Carpenter and Uloa Ford as the two pitchers down there in Cape Falls coming up on Monday. Those two have been pretty good. 1-0 pitch here from Takini. Catches the bottom of the zone. Watching it go by. Hellenthal, a 1-1 count. One out and one on. Doc's trailing by a run, 2-1. Been good defense and good pitching in this one so far. The 1-1 pitch, off speed outside, taken for ball 2. Ty Hellenthal looking for a base knock here. Hellenthal batting .236 on the summer. 7 RBI for him. Pops this one up, foul territory, and it is caught by the third baseman, Carpenter, in foul territory, 2 down. And it's 3 pop-ups for Hellenthal, twice in foul territory.
Number 9, Cole Collins.
Brings up the 9-hitter, Cole Collins. This bottom of the order has struggled here tonight in Game 2. Taj Flora with that walk. He's the first guy to get on base out of the 6, 7, 8, and 9 spots in the lineup here in Game 2. Cole Collins looks to try and change that. Struck out his last time up, his third time seeing Colin Takini here. And he's looking for a base knock to see if he can move Taj Flora around the bases and keep this half inning going. Swung through on the first pitch, strike 1 for Collins. Docs haven't had a hit since back in the 3rd inning. Got 2 guys on base in the 5th inning with walks, and a runner on base here in the 6th inning on a walk as well. The 0-1 pitch to Collins. Swings through the breaking ball for strike 2. Throw down to first. Not going to be there in time. 0-2 count. Cole Collins trying to come through with a base knock. Takini out of his stretch on the mound. Checks first base before he comes set. The 0-2 pitch. Flora takes off. That ball hit in the air out towards right field. Hamilton tracking it, makes the catch. And the 6th inning is complete. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base for the Doc Stewarts here in the 6th. They'll be down to their final 3 outs to work with as we head to the Southern Septic Service 7th inning. When we return here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Cast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by MSK True Value, DR Johnson Lumber, and Umpqua Valley Fire Services.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Hold on to your taste buds because the heat is on. Introducing Mountain Mike's new jalapeno nut nuts. For limited time, they're just $5.99. Order online or on our app for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
Eula Ford.
It'll be the heart of the order coming up here for Klamath Falls against Daniel Withers. First pitch to Marcus Uloa Ford is fouled out of play for strike 1. The heart of the order is brought to you by American Family Insurance. They're at the heart of it all when life hands you a tough road or you just want to be prepared. Turn to Lynette McAllister for all your insurance needs. The 0-1 pitch from Withers. Another ball fouled away. Breaking ball that gets sent out of play over the right side. Marcus Ulloa Ford 0 for 3 in this one. He will have an 0-2 pitch. Bounce outside for a 1-2 count. This is your Southern Septic Service, 7th inning. Nobody sticks their nose in Southern Septic Service's business. Get a free, no-obligation estimate today for all your septic, grease trap, and portable toilet needs. Visit SouthernSepticServiceInc.com. 1-2 from Withers. Jam shot, fouled back to the netting. 7th inning here for Klamath Falls and Roseburg. Klamath Falls is led by 1 after the first inning, at the top of the first inning, and they have led by 1 since the 4th inning. They are looking to try and pull off a win in Game 2 of our doubleheader. After the Docs won 9-2 in Game 1. The 1-2 pitch, curveball misses just high and inside. Up in Eugene, Medford and Eugene, it is the Challengers leading 4-2 in the bottom of the 6th there. 2-2 pitch, belted right side, but will be in foul territory into the bullpen area. In fact, it'll go just over the top of the bullpen, and that might have actually made it out of play down that direction. There is some activity in the bullpen for Klamath Falls. Can't catch the number down there for who's throwing. 2-2 pitch. Sat on the breaking ball. Popped it in the air right side. Logan Anderson, the second baseman, trailing out into the outfield grass, makes the catch, 1 away.
The next batter, number 19.
Backing him up, both Cole Collins and Taj Flora out there. But Anderson able to track it and get underneath it. Jacoby Tacchini will bat. He is 1 for 3 in this one. Had an RBI single in the first. The first pitch, a breaking ball called for a strike. So if the Docs don't come back to win in this one, and if Eugene holds on to win theirs, the Challengers will be your Area 4 champions outright. As a ground ball tapper back to the mound, fielded by Withers, races it over to Cal Robbins. Robbins looked down at his foot. I was worried that maybe he had dropped the ball somehow. He doesn't. He holds on to it. 2 away. So Daniel Withers has come on in relief, and he's done what's asked of him so far. He needs one more out to keep it a 1-run ball game. Corbin Hamilton will bat. He's 0 for 1 with 2 walks. First pitch from Withers, played by Avery, but he can't field it cleanly. A couple of high bounding bounces off the springy turf here, and misplayed there at shortstop. Gonna have to, I think, say that's going to be an error there for Avery. Not an easy play, but a ground ball on the left side. Probably a routine play for the most part. He had it in his glove, just couldn't squeeze it. So runner on at first, second error in the game for the Doc Stewarts. P.J. Safford has been on base twice, a walk and a single back in the 5th inning. Takes outside, 1-0 count. For the Docs coming up in the bottom half of the 7th inning, they'll have the top of the order. Burke, Harrison, and Avery coming up. Your on-deck hitters there for the Doc Stewarts, brought to you by Evergreen Family Medicine. Expect more from Evergreen, serving Roseburg, Myrtle Creek, and Sutherland. Ball fouled back, 1-1 count for Safford. Nighttime has fallen here in the Umpqua Basin. Lights taking full effect for us here at Champion Car Wash Field. Docs are hoping that they can shine bright under the lights in the bottom of the 7th. They're trying to keep it a 1-run deficit. The 1-1 pitch is hit out towards right center. It'll drop down. Cole Collins will have it. He sends it to third base. That ball gets by, and nobody They won't try to score, but up to second base will go Safford. So P.J. Safford with a base hit, his second in the ballgame. Cole Collins tried to throw it to third to see if he could get Corbin Hamilton.
Next batter, number 17.
That ball got away, and that allowed Safford to take second. So another error for the Doc Stewarts. Runners at second and third now with 2 outs. Brief visit to the mound now for Logan Anderson to talk with Daniel Withers, the 2 high school teammates at Umpqua Valley Christian. Anderson will retreat back to second base. It'll be the 8-hitter Carson Pimley, who has been hit by a pitch twice and walked. He swings through the first pitch. Pimley has not seen Daniel Withers. Withers started at the top of the order when he came in relief of Camden Hartzell. He's facing the 8th hitter. Gets a ball popped up foul, out of play for strike 2. Just needing one more out here, and they've been close to getting it. 0-2 pitch to Pimley. Swings and misses, strike 3. And Withers is able to take care of business here in the 7th inning. Klamath Falls threatens, but they cannot come through. Second strikeout for Daniel Withers, and he will strand 2 runners on base. No runs. There was 1 hit, 2 Doc Stewart's errors, 2 men left on base for the Falcons. Docs need 1 to tie and 2 to walk off with a win as we go to the bottom of the 7th on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Johnson Lumber Company, a forward-thinking family company, has been operating in the Douglas County community for over 60 years. Founded by Don R. Johnson, the man who set the tone of commitment to these local communities by providing stable, long-term employment. D.R. Johnson Lumber Company understands the significance of investing in our youth because they are the foundation of our future. That's why they're a proud supporter of Roseburg Doc Stewarts. Come watch the Docs swing some lumber with D.R. Johnson Lumber Company. Go Docs!
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Neal Company Real Estate, American Family Insurance, Champion Car Wash, Cooper's Pest Control, Mountain Mike's Pizza. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Klamath Falls will go to the bullpen for the bottom half of the Southern Septic Service 7th inning as they turn to Max Price, who will try to close it out here. This is a save situation for him. Colin Tacchini moves to second base, trading places with Price, so an easy, simple switch there. That'll be 6 innings worked for Tacchini. He gives up just 3 hits, 1 run. It was an earned run. He walked 6, finished with 2 strikeouts and 1 hit batter. But he's in line, Colin Tacchini, in line to try and pick up his 3rd win of the season. He gives things over to Max Price, who has an 8.75 ERA, making his 4th appearance, an 0-1 record in 8 innings worked. He's got 8 strikeouts, 10 walks this summer. He will face the top of the order for the Doc Stewarts. So 3 times through the lineup for the Docs in the first 6 innings. Now they'll face a new arm, and Paxton Burke will try to see if he can find a way on base. Docs trail by 1. First pitch from the righty to the lefty hits the outside corner for strike 1. 0-1 count. Hit foul down the third base side for strike 2. (0-2) count against Burke. Burke usually a tough out. Able to fight off pitches pretty not easily. Fight off pretty well is what I should say. That's what I was looking for there. The 0-2 pitch. Hits a line drive. Snagged out of the air at shortstop by Uloa Ford. Timed his jump perfectly, snags it out, one away. And there is one down. Docs down to their final 2 outs. Brevin Harrison will ask for some intel on the new man, Price. Brevin Harrison will stand in 0 for 2 in this game. Drew a walk back in the 3rd inning. Obviously, everybody facing a new pitcher, so we'll see how things work out this time around. First pitch swinging for Harrison is fouled over towards the Newell family hitting facility. Strike 1. Docs down to their final 2 outs, trying to rally against Klamath Falls after taking game 1. Pitch high, 1-1 count. 1 out. Nobody on base for the Stewies. A 1-1 pitch here for Harrison. Inside. That pitch didn't look bad from here. Brevin Harrison takes right below the belt. Missing just a bit inside with the fastball there for Price. 2-1 pitch. Missing low and outside. 3-1 count. Max Price out of Henley, earning all Skyline League honors. He's got a 3-1 count against the 2-hitter in the lineup for the Docs. He'll walk him, and the game-tying run is on base once again for the Doc Stewarts. This is your Southern Septic Service 7th inning. Nobody sticks their nose in Southern Septic Service's business, so get a free, no-obligation estimate today for all your septic, grease trap, and portable toilet needs. Visit SouthernSepticServiceInc.com. Brooks Avery, 2 for 3 in the game. Last time hit it pretty well, but it was playable out in right field for Corbin Hamilton.
The next batter, number 5, Brooks
Avery has a grounder through the left side that was knocked down by Uloa Ford, but he couldn't make the throw to first in time. Then he had a push bunt to first base back in the 3rd inning that got him on as well. Avery stands in, takes a breaking ball for a strike. It's a good looking curveball there out of Price on the inner half, right around the belt buckle. Working out of the stretch here for Price. The 0-1 delivery. Fouled back for strike 2. So Brooks Avery will have 2 strikes against him. Cal Robbins waits on deck. Cal has walked twice. Last time it was intentionally. Avery, an 0-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Got a good cut on that one. Couldn't get in front of it, though. Decent gap out in right center if he could find it. They play him to be more of a pull hitter. The 0-2 count against Max Price. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 for Brooks Avery. Went after a breaking ball, and that ball tails away from the right-handed hitter, and the Docs are down to their final out here.
24, Cal Robbins.
Cal Robbins looks to try and keep things going. 2 down. And a visit out to the mound, and here comes Coach Whistler for a conversation. I think they might put Cal Robbins on. Well, Coach Whistler walked out there and looked at Cal, pointed in his direction. They might look to walk him here. They've already intentionally walked him once. Jake Johnson is the on-deck hitter. Two down. This live video simulcast of Doc Stewart's Baseball is brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. Stick around. We'll have your post-game show coming up here in just a few when this game goes final. Whenever that is, actually. Hey, you never know. Docs might find a way to rally back here. Down by 1. Game tying run on at first. At the plate, Cal Robbins. They are going to pitch to him here. First pitch high and away. Pickoff throw down to first base by the catcher, Safford. Not in time. A 1-0 count. Robbins, the one time he put a ball in play, flew out to right field. Takes a breaking ball. A good drop on that one. The 12-6 curveball hits the top of the zone. A 1-1 count for Robbins. Batting cleanup in the lineup for the Doc Stewarts. At first base is Brevin Harrison. 1-1, hit right side, but foul. And so 2 strikes down to their final strike unless Robbins can find a way on. Doc Stewart's hanging by a thread in this one. Cal Robbins trying to not let it end here. Breaking ball gets outside and gets by. That'll put Brevin Harrison into scoring position. Could be big, could be nothing. We'll find out. But now he'll be running on contact with 2 outs. And if Cal Robbins can get something to fall in, Brevin Harrison might have a chance to tie this one up with 2 outs here in the 7th. On the mound, Max Price lets the right arm dangle. Now stands straight, sets. The 2-2. Outside. A close one there with 2 strikes. The Cal Robbins lets go by. Full count. And they may be protective here. Try and see if you can get him with a curveball or something, but you also got to be careful. Don't want to let a ball get by. Cal will call time. Three-2 pitch coming up with 2 outs and the game-tying run out at second base for the Doc Stewarts here in the bottom of the 7th. Price's 3-2 pitch. Bounces in front of home. Knocked down by Safford. That makes sure that Brevin Harrison does not have a chance to go anywhere out at second base. Second walk issued for Max Price. 3rd walk in the game for Cal Robbins. And Jake Johnson now has a chance to try and do something for the Docs. Jake has been on base twice, hit by a pitch and walked. Last time up, he grounded one to third, one that I thought almost had a chance to get through, but it was played nicely by Mark Carpenter. So Jake looking for his first hit. Takes a breaking ball in the dirt, 1-0 count. Game-tying run at second. Game-winning run at first. Doc's obviously got to get at least one here to try and keep this game going. The 1-0 pitch, strike 1. Fastball hitting the top of the zone. Playing underneath the lights here at Champion Car Wash Field. Not a bad way to finish out a Saturday afternoon and evening. Breaking ball. Strike 2 called. Outside corner. Jake Johnson, 2 strikes against him on a tough pitch to take on the outside corner there. That one, 1-2, high and inside. Jake lays off. Jake Johnson at the plate trying to get the Doc Stewarts the game-tying run out at second base. Brevin Harrison, the 2-2 pitch from Price. Swung on, foul tipped into the glove for strike 3, and that will do it. Doc Stewarts will suffer a loss in game 2 of the doubleheader against Klamath Falls. The Falcons will get the 2-1 win on top of the Doc Stewarts. And that will finish off today's doubleheader. Docs will head to Klamath Falls, looking to try and see if they can win a pair down there to take the series against the Falcons. Final score 2-1 in Game 2. We'll go ahead and take a 2.5-minute break, and we will come back with the postgame show on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
D.R. Johnson Lumber Company, a forward-thinking family company, has been operating in the Douglas County community for over 60 years. Founded by Don R. Johnson, the man who set the tone of commitment to these local communities by providing stable, long-term employment. D.R. Johnson Lumber Company understands the significance of investing in our youth because they are the foundation of our future. That's why they're a proud supporter of Roseburg Dock Stewart's. Come watch the Docks swing some lumber with D.R. Johnson Lumber Company. Go Docks!
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Final score, Game 2 here from Champion Car Wash Field. Dock Stewart's will suffer a 2-1 loss against Grants Pass. And we'll see how that plays out with Area 4. But if Eugene hangs on to their lead, they're in the top of the 7th right now with 2 outs. Medford has the game-tying run at the plate and a man at first with 2 outs. And they're down to their final strike in that one. So if Medford doesn't rally on a big way in their final at-bats here in 7th, nope, there it is. So Eugene is your Area 4 champions as they win twice against Medford today. With the loss in Game 2 against Klamath Falls, the Docks can no longer catch Eugene for the Area 4 title. So now you got to root hard for Eugene in the 2 games they'll play down in Medford on Monday, and root hard for the Dock Stewarts to get a couple of wins down in Klamath Falls. So the Dock Stewarts will be in 2nd place at the end of today's action, but they still need to get wins on the road at Klamath Falls here coming up. 2-1 our final score in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Docks won Game 1 9-2. Let's take a look at our D.R. Johnson Lumber Company scoreboard update. Your final update on the scoreboard here for Game 2. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and 12 men left on base for Klamath Falls in this one. 1 run, 3 hits, 3 errors, and 10 men left on base for the Dock Stewarts. Neither team did necessarily well with runners on base and in scoring position, but the Dock Stewarts really only 3 hits total, and they did not have a hit after the 3rd inning in Game 2. Kind of tough there. Colin Tacchini picks up the win. He goes to 3-5 on the season with his record. Camden Hartzell will go to 1-4 on the season. And Max Price will pick up his first save of the year. Both teams scored in the 1st inning. Colin Tacchini scored on an RBI single by Jacoby Tacchini to make it 1-0 for Klamath Falls. The Docks would tie it up after a leadoff triple by Paxton Burke. Brooks Avery would drive in Burke to make it a 1-1 ball game. Klamath Falls took the lead in the 4th inning on an errant throw by Brooks Avery. Avery made a great play up the middle to make a stop, but his throw, after diving to get to the ball behind second, his throw offline to first, got by. That allowed a run to come in and score. It would have been the final out if he had gotten it there on target, but scoring was Carson Pimley to make it a 2-1 lead for Klamath Falls. And then the very next batter would pop out in foul territory to finish off the inning. So the Doc Stewarts so close to getting out of it there and keeping it a 1-1 ball game, couldn't do so. Neither team would score the rest of the way despite multiple chances to do so. So good pitching on both sides. Unfortunately for the Doc Stewarts, not enough offense against Colin Takini, who gets the win. 6 innings, gave up 1 run on 3 hits, 6 walks, 2 strikeouts, 1 hit batter. Cam Hartzell taking the loss. He gives up 2 runs, 1 earned on 4 hits, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 2 hit batters in 5 innings. Daniel Withers did a nice job pitching 2 innings in relief, allowed 1 hit, no runs, 2 strikeouts as he tried to keep the Docs in it. Max Price closed it out in the 7th inning. It got a little interesting, but he was able to get the final out on a strikeout to Jake Johnson. 1 inning worked. He had 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, no runs allowed, no hits either against Max Price as he picks up his first save. Looking at the offense for Klamath Falls, Colin Takini 1 for 4 in the game with a run scored. Mark Carpenter 1 for 4 with a single. Jacoby Takini goes 1 for 4 with an RBI. PJ Safford had 2 hits, goes 2 for 3 with a walk and 2 singles. And Carson Pimley got on base 3 times, hit by a pitch twice, and a walk, scored a run in there as well. For the Doc Stewarts, Paxton Burke was 1 for 3 with a triple and a run scored. Brevin Harrison walked twice. Brooks Avery 2 for 4 in the game with an RBI single. Cal Robbins had 3 walks in this one. Jake Johnson hit by a pitch and walked. And then Taj Flora had a walk in there as well. Doc Stewarts will be now 20-16-1 on the season. They're 12-6 over in league play. They will have a 1-game lead over Medford, the 3rd place team. So Docs will be 3 games back of Eugene, and Medford will be 4 games back of the Challengers, who win the Area 4 title this year. Klamath Falls goes to 10-25 on the year. They're now 4-14 in league play. So that is how things shape up here. It'll be an interesting Monday to wrap up the Area 4 title, or Area 4 play. Medford and Docs will be battling for that automatic qualifier spot behind Eugene, and Redmond and Grants Pass will be battling for that final postseason bid. So that'll be coming up on Monday, but up next for the Doc Stewarts is a game here at home against the Mid-Valley Southpaws in a non-leaguer coming up tomorrow afternoon at 2. That's going to do it for us here, folks, from Champion Car Wash Field. Final time we will do that in league play here tonight. Tomorrow will be our final home game, so hopefully we'll see you out here at the ballpark to watch a little bit of Doc Stewart's baseball. Want to say thanks to the Klamath Falls Falcons for making the trip up and for some competitive baseball here today. Want to say thanks to head coach Eric Savage and the entire Roseburg American Legion baseball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Doc Stewart's baseball here on The Score. Want to say thanks to Brenton Cranford back in the studio for the radio production here tonight, and thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Kieran. We'll catch up with you coming up tomorrow when the Doc Stewarts take on the Mid-Valley Southpaws in a non-league game. That'll start at 2 o'clock. Our pregame coverage starts at 1:45. We'll have the coverage with the live video simulcast online at 541radio.com, presented by the Cow Creek Tribe. Or you can always find Doc Stewart's Baseball on your radio on Douglas County's home for sports, The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.